gentleman's playing out on the out in the archway there, just for the joy of it, and a little bit of money going to charity.
The Art Festival's been going since 1982.
Yes.
So it's 30 years
30
the
years.
Arts Festival has been going, and it's like looking back over some of the old programmes, you know, in the box of the old programmes, and looking at what's been in the past and what we've done. Absolutely amazing. But I remember when I first came into Peebles in 1992, 91, 92, and walking along Peebles High Street, and the two things that got me were the exhibition trail, which is just art in the shops, the normal shops in Peebles. Open the windows up and say to an artist, yes, come in and show your wares. And it can be somebody who's doing sketching, it can be a professional artist, it can be somebody doing felt work, it can be somebody doing woodwork, it can be anything. And they open it and they put it in. I remember seeing that and thinking, what is this? And not really knowing whether I wanted to be a part of it, but I liked the feeling of it. And then the other thing was a busking Saturday, where you came in and all of a sudden there was a whole load of music, and you walk down the high street now, we've got 30 odd performers, and you go from classical to pop to madrigal to, as I say,
to a bunch of primary school kids singing ABBA songs.
Absolutely! Fantastic, what more could you want?
Semi-professional musicians out there with their keyboards and their guitars and their fiddles, playing away as well. And they're all up and down the high street. There's Dan Ward up there with some of his students, playing away, just showing the importance of performance.
What's this? It's all the madrigals that you hear. Madrigals.
Madrigals?
Busking
Really?
madrigals, really.
Medieval busking festival.
Exactly, a whole variety of instruments, from saxophones to drums to felt tip pens to proper guitars, soloists and what have you. I mean, when you walk down the high street now, we've got 30 odd performers, and you go from classical to pop to madrigal to, as I say,
to a bunch of primary school kids singing ABBA songs.
Absolutely! Fantastic, what more could you want? Well, I suppose there's three real aspects to it, because there's the people who are in Peebles and we want to draw people into Peebles, and then there's encouraging Peebles to get involved in the arts in all its forms. So getting involved in whether it's crayon painting, whether it's making paper aeroplanes or doing kites, or Diablos that we had last year that were fabulous, busking coming along. We've got buskers who are busking, and what they're doing is felt pen pictures of people. Fabulous! You know, there are super opportunities. And there was a group of kids came up, when you were there, they came up, and there was 5 of them, and we said, well, are you going to take part? I don't really know. What could we do? Well, I don't know. What would you like to do? We could sing ABBA songs. So there's 5 youngsters who've not really performed before, never performed before in public, and it just so happened that they were on their way to the chip shop or whatever. They're going to have a go. Well, I mean, that's what it's about. It's not just about high art. It's not just about the tedial talks. It's not just about music and Peebles. It's not just about the Eastgate Theatre. It's about all the arts and getting people involved in it, as well as drawing people into Peebles. So it's, the people from outside coming in as something to see as a venue, and then encouraging the people who are doing art in Peebles, and as you say, giving them a visibility, bringing them up and saying, well, here we are in St.
The yurt's been there for several years, and to have that kind of community of craftsmen down there on the green for the weekend brought a focus and an interest and lots of good feedback about the attitude of the blacksmiths, the excitement about going in and seeing hot metal bent. That was.
What was interesting also was seeing the mothers going in and saying, my son made this, and the son's being so proud that they have made it. But we learn from that again. Every year we learn something new. It was better in the afternoon than it was in the morning.
Peebles people don't come out until about 1 o'clock. That's what I'm finding. Tours have been hugely successful. In the afternoon, people come out, they join on. I went on the 18 Bridges tour. We had nearly 30 people come on that. It was a relaxed walk around. It was fascinating. I had no idea there were so many bridges in Peebles, honestly. There is an appetite for local history. And people are genuinely interested in seeing what other people are doing in town. I think that's what the Arts Festival really brings out. All these artists who work away in their own tiny little studios or their living rooms or their garages and their sheds, and they bring their work out into the public here, blinking in the light of day, and people are interested. And if we can be part of promoting the image of Peebles as an artistic centre and a place where there is interesting, innovative, creative work going on, and interesting, creative, innovative people doing that work, then we've got a chance to be part of revitalising the high street, revitalising the tourist trade, lifting the game of people who often work away on their own without really a sense of being part of a community. Funding's always an issue, and I have to say that as treasurer. Getting, the festival costs money to put on, not because we pay lots of people anymore to come and put the festival on, but because we facilitate. We produce a brochure, we advertise, and we organise, and we pay an administrator to do that, as well as paying for the various services that we need, licences and so on. And funding the festival has become more and more difficult as the years have gone on, because there's little funding around these days for something which appears to be frivolous. And we rely more now on small amounts of money from lots and lots of different businesses who are prepared to support us. And the support we have in the town is tremendous.
I think that's a real success. Over the last 5 years of the Arts Festival, I think the successes that we've achieved, I don't know if the people of Peebles actually know about it. I'm not really interested in blowing a trumpet, that's not what it's about. But it's interesting that we've changed the funding. We've changed from being somebody who pays for events and takes the risk, and we've changed that into new writing, we've become facilitators. But we've also become self-funding, and that through our commercial enterprise, we're able to gain an income through the advertising and the programme. But we had to take that risk to say we're going to do a professional programme, and then we're going to take money from that, from local businesses who see the benefits. And it's, the interesting thing is that people of Peebles, the normal people of Peebles, might not see the benefits of it, but the businesses do, and they're not daft. They're not daft. They know that it works, it brings people in, and that's why they're able to put their hands in their pockets and very generously give us money. But they wouldn't give us the money if they weren't getting something back from it.
True.
And that's where having a proper programme, having a proper website, having a proper feel to the festival, the corporate image that Ian McKinley did for us, superb. That's what we needed to make us more professional. So therefore, people can then look at us and say, yes, it's worthwhile putting our money into it. But it's the local businesses who are doing it, and power to their elbow for supporting us.
Yes. Yeah.
We can always do with more. We can always do with more press.
Always do with more press. Always do with more sponsorship.
Yes.
And just widening our franchise. I mean, I think we've been very successful in the last 3 years in introducing things like advertising, building a website, because it gives us a higher profile, and it makes us something that people are more interested in investing in. Even if they're just investing their 15 quid registration fee, all those little registration fees add up. And just like my image of this community of artists that's all exhibiting their wares at the same time, or performing, or whatever they're doing, creating a buzz. I think financially, lots and lots of people putting a little bit in means that we create an event. And as you say, it's been around 30 years, so it's an established part of the calendar in Peebles. I mean, it takes 30 years to become an essential part of the calendar in Peebles.
I'd like to see more investment. I'd like to see more sponsorship. Us going after more sponsorship for things like doing a summer lumiere, for things like doing the equivalent of the Enchanted Forest, where we do some sort of light show on Tweed Green, for doing open air performances, for doing an open air film show. There's all sorts of ideas. They just come tumbling out, and when we have, always when we have Arts Festival meetings, apart from laughing a lot, out of those 12 meetings a year that we have, or 11 meetings a year that we have to run the festival, there's all these ideas that come out. And it never ceases to amaze me how many people come out with more things. Well, let's teach people how to do pavement art and chalk the pavement, or make bow ties, or do something else, craft demonstrations for people who go to have a shot at all these different crafts. Fantastic! There's no end of things to go and see.
Something we've struck in the last few years has been a shift in regulation. I was surprised when I started as treasurer that there was a big bill from PRS for public music. Our busking afternoon, for example, attract a license fee,
Yes.
and we pay 150 or more pounds to PRS for the right for people to often to busk their own music in the street.
What I found really frightening as chair was the fact that they could come along and dun us for an awful lot more.
Yes, they can,
and we had to negotiate that, and it was through the good offices of yourself and Mandy that managed to restrict that, and of course Alison to turn around and say, no, that's not actually what it's all about.
And there was a proposal recently amongst a lot of the, well, in fact all of the Scottish councils to charge a license fee for any public
event.
Any public event.
Yes.
Which I think at the moment is in abeyance, but is a worry for an organisation like ours, which relies on the willingness of people to come out and play, like this gentleman's playing out on the out in the archway there, just for the joy of it, and a little bit of money going to charity. But if he was faced with a 30 quid license fee, he'd walk.
Absolutely, and every one of them would have to have that 30 quid license fee. But what worries me is the fact that that's still enshrined in statute, that's still there, they can still apply it, it's only through the local authorities turning around. And basically, if we didn't have the likes of the Fringe fighting our case, we'd be in a sorry state, because its performances, large organisations like the Fringe is able to turn around and challenge anybody to take council, and therefore other councils follow that because they look at it and they say, well, hold on a second, how difficult is this going to be to actually licence and enact? Because in reality, it meant that every single bus went through Scotland.